Hello everyone, this is Bazooka. Welcome to one of my videos and welcome to Random Ramblings. Once again, it is not to leave a loadout because I have been lazy. And this is once again coming out at a really weird date because I don't normally update or upload videos on Thursdays and Tuesdays, but it's just like, hey, seems to be going on for quite a streak here. Uploading it on Thursday, it seems. So, as you can see in the title, this Random Rambling is going to be centered around the June 11th update to 2014. So, yeah, Valve did an update. They did little changes here and there, so on and so forth. But the biggest important, well, there's two very important things. The first thing is they updated the Eureka Effect. It got changed pretty heavily. Originally, the Eureka Effect is like the alt fire allowed you to teleport back to your spawn, regain all your health, regain all your metal, so on and so forth. And its downside was you couldn't pick up your buildings. So once you placed down a building, it was just kind of set in stone there forever until you decide to destroy it yourself, or you could have just left it there, which kind of would have sucked. But I mean, that's how it went. So you really have to choose your building placement very wisely with the Eureka Effect. Now with the updated Eureka Effect, you can pick up buildings now, and the ability to teleport yourself back to spawn, that is still there, except they changed it slightly. It's no longer part of your taunt. It's no longer a taunt, and you can't activate it with alt fire. However, you activate it by pressing the reload key, and when you press the reload key, a little menu will pop up, kind of like as if you were building something. So when you press R, a little menu will pop up. It's just like 1 or 2. 1 will teleport you to the spawn. 2, if you have a fully built exit, a teleporter exit somewhere on the map, you can press 2 and teleport directly onto it as if you had used your teleporter. So, for a good example, let's just say a spy, for whatever reason, only manages to destroy the entrance near your spawn, and then he dies, or like he goes off on his business or whatever. And just like, well, dang, normally you would have to either wait until you die and then respawn and then build the teleporter, or you'd have to run all the way back to spawn, build a teleporter, and just for the sake of convenience, you'd probably build up the teleporter again, and then you'd use your teleporter to teleport back to your sentry nest or back to the front lines. But with the Eureka Effect now, you can, if the exit is still intact and still fully built, you can just teleport back to spawn with the Eureka Effect, place down an entrance, and then teleport back to the exit, and you'll be right back on the front lines, and no big deal. Spy, a little bit of a deterrent, but that's not going to stop the amazing Eureka Effect NG. So there is that. However, with those two perks, being able to pick up your buildings now and being able to teleport to your exit, there was two really big nerfs that the Eureka Effect got. Both its repair and its upgrade rates have been halved. So it's 50% upgrade and 50% repair, and it's pretty brutal, but I don't know if it's so worth it, because it's really hard to, well, it's like it really makes your buildings like super important. The Eureka Effect is still encouraging, okay, these buildings, you have to cherish these buildings like none other, because originally you couldn't pick it up, so it's just like, did you place it in the right spot? You better have placed it in the right spot. Cherish this building where it is. Now the Eureka Effect is, do you enjoy this level 3? You better take gosh darn good care of that level 3, otherwise you're gonna have wasted a ton of time, because half of 25 for the upgrade is 12.5. Of course, there's no like decimal points in TF2, so it rounds down. There's no variable between, like, you know, 12 and 13. No, it's just 12. So instead of taking exactly 16 hits, it takes 17 hits. That one extra hit does kind of matter. So taking double plus one more extra hit to upgrade your stuff by one level, that takes a lot of time. In that time, you could have built and destroyed and then built again. Like, build, upgrade, destroy, build, upgrade a sentry twice, compared to building a sentry and upgrading it with the Eureka Effect. With like any other wrench, it would be like super easy. But with the Eureka Effect, it is very, very hard to do, and it's heavily encouraging teamwork. Unfortunately for me, I was not fortunate enough to get very teamwork compatible NGs. It's a bit unfortunate, but that's TF2 for you. Not everyone cooperates. However, that's life. So really, it's great when you have multiple NGs. Like, you know, one other NG, so that way he can help build up and repair stuff while you go, like, while you do other things as well. And but if it's just you, or if your engineers aren't helping you, you're kinda a lot worse than any other engineer, because it's just like you upgrade things so slowly, and you, like, for half the battle you're probably sitting there with just a level 1 that's almost to be a level 2, but it keeps taking like little minuscule pieces of damage. Just like, ah, oh, come on, I just want to upgrade this to a level 2, and it just doesn't happen because the stuff keeps happening. So it's just like, but that's what they did with the Eureka Effect. I tried it out very recently. As you can see here, I got some gameplay. It's I probably still won't use it very often, but I mean, it does warrant some usage here and there, because being able to teleport back to your spawn and then back to the exit, your teleporter exit, is very, very useful. It cuts out the middleman of having to build your own teleporter entrance. You can just build an exit. And for example, say, since we're playing on Dust Bowl right here, for example, you want to get to the last point, because that's where your nest is. You've been pushed back to last point, and you need to get back to your sentry nest. But it's just way too dangerous. You can just plop down an exit, and then when you die, you don't have to risk walking in front of all this like terrible rockets, sticky bombs, snipers, everything. Oh geez, you can just go, okay, I'm just gonna place this teleporter here, this teleporter exit, because we're on last point. There's no like big deal if I just don't build an entrance, because whatever. So it's fully built. It's not even like an active teleporter. You can just, you know, press R, press 2, you're at your sentry nest. It's pretty cool. I tried doing it once. I didn't really get to utilize it, because by the time I thought of that is in the gameplay, it's just like, ah, well, too late, they win. So yes, there is that. And there's a bit of information that I didn't notice earlier. The blog post where just like where they're showing off the terrible weapon ideas. I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that they updated the blog, and it was just like, oh, here are some weapons that we've been trying to make, but it's just like, you know, sometimes we make bad weapons, sometimes we make really bad weapons, and then they decided to show some of them off. Some of them were like bombs, like no, not bomb. One item was called like the big bomb or whatever, and it was for the demo man, and there's like some sort of giant sticky bomb. I don't know, but apparently it was really unfun, so that's why it didn't get turned into a weapon. Then there was the face stab knife, where it's just like it did nothing on like from the back, but from the front it acted as a normal backstab. So you can imagine how well that went over. Yeah. So they decided to not do that, and then there was like the sucker for the pyro. And it was like, instead of the compression blast instantaneously like pushing people away, it would like constantly pull people towards the pyro and into his range. Apparently there's something wrong with the multiplayer where it's just like the prediction something or another. It's really screwed with the prediction of TF2 for the servers. So it created this really disorientating, like, laggy effect or whatever, so they decided not to do that. And then at the very end, they decided to just do something very interesting. They made something called, they talked about a weapon called the base jumper, the BASE, like an acronym, the base jumper. And it's for the soldier. It's just like, oh man, there's this really cool parachute item, and we really wanted to make an item out of it. And, you know, getting a better vantage point is a pretty good idea. And you sacrifice some self-defense and putting yourself out in the open for some higher vantage points. You become more effective against other soldiers in demos while putting yourself in danger of heavies and snipers. And then at the very end, it's just like, wait, that doesn't sound very terrible. Okay, forget that last one. So that's a potential spoiler for a weapon. The base jumper, a parachute, which I'm going to assume is a secondary. So it would replace the gunboats and replace the man-treads, or it would replace the shotgun rather, because no one really uses the man-treads unless they're going soldier. But yeah, it would replace the gunboats and replace the shotgun. And it would also replace all the backpack items, the buff banner, the battalion's backup, the conqueror. It would replace those, and instead, I'm guessing maybe I don't know if you would be able to activate it on command, because that would be kind of weird. So maybe it would just like passively work when you just started falling in the air for too long. So. It's really cool to see that there's a really good chance that this item is going to be in a big update. And speaking of big updates, segues into everything, bread. Bread everywhere. Well, not really everywhere, but bread. Like, really, in this update, there apparently when people teleport, use an engineer's teleporter, it sometimes it very rarely spawns a little prop piece of bread, and there's 9 different kinds of bread that can appear, and by the looks of it, each bread type, like each of the 9 breads, are related to a class, because there's a baguette, there's a pretzel, there's a cinnamon bread, there's bread ration, which is basically bread in a can, and then there's Russian black bread, Russian, there's a crumpet, and there's also the cornbread and a normal loaf of bread. So, from what I figure, all those are related to each of the 9 classes in some way. So, the alternate reality game, anyone? I'm going to assume that, and I'm going to assume that it's for the end of the line. End of the line seems like it's getting real close, guys. So that's going to be really fun. It's going to be really fun to see how this whole thing unravels. Like, why bread? What bread of all things? Like, what? I mean, like the pigeons, that made sense. This is only from going off from what I heard and what I've looked at from past stuff. But like pigeons, that was for like the Uber update or something like that. I can't quite remember. The diary, the slightly singed diary or whatever, that was for the Pyro update, the Pyromania update. So it's just like at least those things had stuff related to it. But this is bread that comes from a teleporter. Sometimes. I don't understand. But it doesn't matter because it's going to be really interesting when that huge update comes by. So yeah. I know this is getting kind of long. I still have a few things to talk about because I haven't... There's so much information that's just been thrown at me, like, for this update, because I didn't notice the blog on the 5th. So, the taunts. The taunts that you can put into your action slots, their icons have been changed. Instead of using the 3D models of characters, they now use cartoonish 2D pictures now. They're still generally the same thing. Like the director's taunt, the director's cut taunt is still an engineer doing that pose. The shred alert is still the heavy using the guitar. The Schadenfreude, I'm so sorry if I probably butchered that pronunciation. But the laughing taunt, that's still the 3 heads of the demo. The soldier and the heavy. I actually can't remember anymore. But yeah, those 3. The medic is still the medic. Yeah, so nothing's really changed, but it's just like they changed the little icon. And that, I think, is really, really cool. I assume that they've done that in preparation of the taunt workshop that they hinted at, because, like, really way back, Valve was making their own taunts, and they were saying something about, like, a taunt workshop or something, so... They're probably doing it because of that. It's probably a lot more interesting to look at, like, this 2D, like, little, like, animation-esque kind of film reel thing instead of this 3D looking thing. I don't know. I think it's a great change. It's a great aesthetic touch, and I can't wait to see what else comes of that. And finally, I know it's getting long, but don't worry, it's about to end. I need you guys' help with picking out medic cosmetic combos. I will play over whatever gameplay I have right now, and for the medic, I'm obviously getting, you know, closer and closer to getting all the medic cosmetics, but while I probably won't use them for a while because I still need to get all the Stranges up to Manco's signature collection, I would still like to know some good medic combos, especially ones that use underappreciated medic cosmetics. Like, for instance, I don't see, or I rarely see, any medics using the Doctor's Sack, or I barely see medics using the Gentleman's Gatsby, or the Planeswalker's Helm. But the Planeswalker Helm has, I've already found the good thing, you know, the Practitioner's Processing Mask, and I decided to go with the Ward, because it covers up the neck, makes him look less human-like, and turns them all into a robot. Alright, so, yeah, so, anything that uses lesser appreciated, or lesser used, underused medic cosmetics, I really appreciate that. It doesn't just have to be medic cosmetics either. You can also throw in some, like, all-class or multi-class items if you so desire. Also, the medic list is going off of the medic cosmetics that I'm talking about are the ones that are listed on the wiki that are that have said, like, the list of medic cosmetics. That's the list I'm going off of for medic cosmetics. So that is that. So thank you. Okay, it's gone on for a while. So I thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys later next time. I don't know, because this is really, I'm really getting screwed up. E3 has been consuming my time a lot. Smash Brothers information coming out left and right. Pac-Man, Palutena, Mies. Oh my god, customization. Alright. So, that's gonna do it. Have a great day and a good night. Bye.
Alert! The control point is being captured. Alert! The control point is being contested. Alert. The control point is being contested.